Good morning. My name is Amos Odeke and I am from Nigeria. Today we'll be talking about effective communication. What comes to your mind when you hear the word effective communication? Effective communication is a process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, knowledge, and information such that the purpose or intention is fulfilled in the best possible manner. In simple words, it is nothing but the presentation of views by the sender in a way best understood by the receiver. What are the characteristics of an effective communication? Just delivering a message is not enough. It must meet the purpose of the sender. Keeping this in mind, let us discuss the elements which makes communication effective. Clear message. The message which the sender wants to convey must be simple, easy to understand, systematically framed to retain its meaningfulness. Correct message. The information communicated must not be vague or false in any sense. It must be free from errors and grammatical mistakes. Complete message. Communication is the base for decision making. If the information is incomplete, it may lead to wrong decision. Precise message. The message sent must be short, concise to facilitate straightforward interpretation and take the desired step. Reliability. The sender must be sure from his end that whatever he is conveying is right by his knowledge. Even the receiver must have trust on the sender and can rely on the message sent. Consideration of the recipient. The medium of communication and other physical settings must be planned, keeping in mind the attitude, language, knowledge, education level, and position of the receiver. Sender courtesy. The message so drafted must reflect the sender's courtesy, humbleness, and respect towards the receiver. Effective communication skills. Conveying a message effectively is an act as well as a skill developed after continuous practice and experience. This predetermined set of skills required for an influential communication process are as follows. Observance. A person must possess sharp observing skills to gain more and more knowledge and information. Charity and brevity. The message must be drafted in simple words and it should be clear and precise to create the desired impacts on the receiver. Listening and understanding. The most crucial skill in a person is he must be a good, alert, and patient listener. He must be able to understand and interpret the message well. Emotional intelligence. A person must be emotionally aware of the ability to influence others from within. Self efficacy. Also, he or she must have faith in himself and his capability to achieve the objective of communication. Self confidence. Being one of the essential communication skills, confidence enhances the worthiness of the message being delivered. Respectfulness. Being one of delivering a message with courtesy and respecting the value, belief, opinion, and ideas of the receiver is essential. Is the essence of effective communication. Non-verbal communication. To connect with the receiver in a better way, the sender must involve the non-verbal means communication too. These include gesture, facial expression, eye contact, and posture. Selection of the right medium. Choice to the correct medium for communication is also a skill. It is necessary to select an appropriate medium according to the situation, priority of the message, the receiver point of view. Providing feedback. Effective communication is always a two-way process. A person must take as well and give feedback to bring forward the other person's perspective too. Now, there are barriers to effective communication. There are certain obstacles which sometimes hinder the process of communication, making it less useful for the sender as well as the receiver. These barriers are categorized under three groups. Let's understand this detail below. Wordplay. Wordplay an essential role in the process of communication. Any disturbance or distraction in a way a message is presented may lead to miscommunication. Following the following are the three different types of communication barrier related to words. Language. It is a medium of communication. If the sender is making excessive use of technical terms, it will become difficult for the receiver to understand the message clearly. Ambiguous or overuse of abstractions. Even if the message is presented in a non-realistic or vague content involving a lot of notion, the recipient won't be able to connect with the idea properly. Disorganized message. When the message are not organized systematically to form a powerful message, it loses its efficacy and meaning. People belong to okay barriers involving people's background. People belong to different background, that is culture, educational level, gender, etc. These attributes majorly affect the efficacy of the communication process. It involves the following related obstacles. Demographic difference. The difference in age, generation, gender, status, tradition creates a lack of understanding among people and thus hinder the process of communication. Lack of common experience or perspective. The experience of a person develops their perspective of seeing things in a particular way. This perspective varies from person to person. Therefore, it becomes difficult for a receiver to relate with the sender's experience or view as he might have never gone through it himself. Jumping to conclusion. Some people lack the patience of listening to others and often jump to conclusion between the conversation, the communication, thus neglecting the motive of the message. Physical barriers. These barriers can be experienced directly by challenging to overcome. These sorry, these barriers can be experienced directly but challenging to overcome, which include physical distance. When people communicate over long distance, they miss out the non-verbal aspect of communication since the gesture and expression of the receiver cannot be interpreted. Noise. The environment or the communication system sometimes involves unwanted noise which interrupts the process of communication, making it efficient. Psychological barriers. One of the most common barriers to effective communication is the physical disability of the people involved. Some of these are hearing impairments, poor eyesight, stammering. Thus, we can say that the significant purpose of communication is to pass on the information to the receiver in such a manner that it does not lose its significance. At the same time, the message must be received in a purest form. Thank you very much for listening.